Hi, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 Meteorologist Pat Cavlin here, just giving you a quick update on some new storms that have fired up on the east side of town. If you live anywhere north and east and even south of Houston, we've already all of a sudden seen these big thunderstorms pop up now, producing a crazy amount of lightning. Just look at this line. It's pretty much a straight line paralleling the East Tex Freeway going all the way up towards the Shreveport area. Let's get you in for a closer look and just kind of see what the deal is with these storms. Now starting to encroach upon downtown Houston, mainly on the east side of the city, though. We'll get in for a closer look. Places like Canal Street, going along I-10, out towards the east, Texas 255. We've seen some heavy rain as well. And again, this is starting to slowly drift towards downtown Houston. Bigger thunderstorms, though, up towards Beaumont Place, getting into the Barrett community. Going north and east of there, just a tremendous amount of rain falling over the same area constantly, just over and over and over again. These storms have not moved at all. These are really impressive storms. Nothing severe, though, at the moment. That's the good news. We still have that severe threat in place as we go into the overnight hours, but right now it is just a giant heavy rainstorm. Moss Hill getting clobbered right now. There may be some hail in that. I see a little bit of magenta underneath the lightning, which is also pretty impressive. Notice the big lightning burst there right over Moss Hill up towards, I believe that's Liberty County. And then on the south side of the city, it's a little more scattered in nature. We'll have to wait to see if this fills in. But places like Alvin, Liverpool, Juleef, up towards Brookside Village, down along 288 towards Angleton, Lake Jackson, and Richwood. Spotty downpours, but man, where it's raining, it's coming down at a really good clip. Couple lightning strikes here out towards Brookside Village and Juleef, but nothing farther to the south yet. But this is just nonstop rain. You can see it all coming in from the Gulf, and the lightning strikes really pick up once you get north and east of town. But these are training thunderstorms, which means that they are sitting over the same area. They're really locked into this very narrow band. You know, places like River Oaks, Rice Military, once you get into the Galleria area, nothing. I mean, we got a lot of clouds out there, but it's not a drop of rain. Out towards the Heights, more of the same. And then once you get out of the inner loop, we're bone dry as well. It's really in this very narrow corridor that we're seeing a lot of rainfall. So that begs the question, are we going to see a flooding potential from this? It's a little hard to say right now, but if this were to continue for another hour or two, that certainly would start to become a concern. Rain totals here over the last hour, not crazy yet, but we're seeing rainfall rates at about 1 inch per hour. And so far, we're at 1/2 inch there on the south side of the Beltway, about 1/2 inch there on the northeast side of the Beltway, and then 1 inch there up towards the Liberty County border, and about 1/3 of an inch to 1/2 inch right near the town of Liberty. So again, nothing concerning at this point, but you can really see how this band pulled together. We'll have to keep an eye to see if it drifts to the north and east or if it just locks itself in place here. And if it does, again, that's going to become a big concern for us. And this is what we're watching here, this big burst of lightning, this huge band of rain all coming in, all feeding off of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Now to the west, we have a very big cluster of thunderstorms that we're also keeping an eye on. This is what the models picked up on. The models did not do a good job with this line of storms, so we're kind of just now casting to see what these do. These storms are severe out towards I-35 in the hill country. These are huge hail producers. And fortunately, the activity has really kind of hit a line here and fallen apart. So as they drift east, they're falling apart. We'll see if that trend continues. But that's how things out there look for now. But these are really impressive storms here. 2.5 inch hailstones falling in places like Mineral Wells out towards Austin. So some really impressive storms out there. And on the wider shot, you can see what's going on. So we've got the flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, feeding this line of storms that's in place right now. We've got bigger storms kind of coming in up towards the center of where this low is. We've got a stationary boundary draped around here. We've got a dry line that goes down here. And so where those two meet, that's where we're seeing these bigger storms out towards the Austin area and the hill country. And then on the southern edge of this dry line, we've got storms that are starting to fire up here in the mountains in Mexico. So all three of these are going to combine later tonight and bring us the potential for some bigger storms, especially as we get into the early morning hours for Wednesday. So notice again, the model not really doing a great job with what's going on out there right now, picking up on some storms, but it's not as well defined as what we're seeing on radar at the moment. It is doing a good job with these, though, out towards the hill country. So as we put this into motion, you can see it does continue these storms through about 10 p.m., and then they start to weaken quite a bit before they reach us. Again, we'll keep an eye on them because they are big hail producers, but that's been the trend in the models so far throughout the day. 1 o'clock in the morning, we're talking about still fairly quiet conditions, again, depending on what that line to the east does. But other than that, there's not a lot going on. But we do start to see more activity back out towards the west. And this is what we're going to be watching for as we get into Wednesday morning. Notice 2 to 3 a.m. We've got a big cluster of storms now starting to come into places like Washington County, Grimes County, Walker County. So this is the leading edge of that cluster of storms that we're watching for as we get to Wednesday. Now here we are 3 to 4 a.m. We've got more storms coming in from the south. So we've got 2 batches of storms. 1 batch to the north, and these will likely have the greatest tornado threat. So again, this is an overnight, this is a nocturnal tornado threat. So if you're watching us from places like Montgomery County, Walker County, Polk, San Jacinto, you want to have a way to get warnings through the overnight that will wake you up. Okay, because again, these storms are coming in 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when most of us are asleep. The storms down to the south have a tornado threat, but it's not as great as the ones to the north. This is going to be more of a hail threat here through places like Columbus, El Campo, Wharton, getting to Bay City. And eventually, these all move into the city of Houston. So I think it's a wind threat as this starts to become more of a bow line going through the city of Houston. The winds all coming in on the back end of the line like this. And we could also see some hail with this cluster of storms. So this is 5 to 6 in the morning now. So now we're starting to get into the beginning of the morning commute. Early risers, this could be a really big issue for us on the roads tomorrow morning. The good news is that it's out of here. Once we get to like 8 and 9 a.m., everything starts to wrap up. We dry things out, and we'll even start to get some breaks of sunshine as we go through the day. So that is the latest on what's going on outside. We'll get you back to radar just to have one more look. But so far, the storms on the east side of town not showing any signs of becoming severe, but we are dropping quite a bit of rainfall in these areas, again, on the east side of Houston and then going to the north. We'll keep a close eye on this. Chief Meteorologist David, Paul, and myself are here in studio all night to bring you the latest on these storms. So stay with KHOU for the latest as we go through the rest of this evening.